So just huge upset all around. The referendum on Trudeau's future in Toronto, St. Paul. A lot of calls for Justin Trudeau to step down.
Hey, think with your thinker. That's what it's for.
So on June 24th, we had a very important by-election. It was actually called a referendum on Trudeau's future in Toronto, St. Paul's. Now, this has been called the Liberal Fortress for over 30 years. It's been a stronghold for the Liberals. And what's really interesting is the Conservatives ended up taking it. It was quite close, but it shouldn't have even been close. The Conservatives came up 20 points from where they were in that riding in the last election. And why that's important is for decades, it's gone fully Liberal with Conservatives not even having a chance. People didn't think this guy had a chance either, but he came back and won it. The Liberals ran Leslie Church. You may remember her. She's a star Liberal candidate. She's the former chief of staff for Chrystia Freeland. She's married to a lobbyist who specializes in media and pharmaceuticals. It was crazy. 44% voter turnout in this riding, which is twice what it was in 2021 during the last federal election, which shows that the votership is super motivated. It was a huge win for the Conservatives and a huge upset for the Liberals. And of course, it's led to a lot of calls for Justin Trudeau to step down, although I am not one of those people calling for it. Another interesting point I wanted to bring on was normally in something like this, when the Liberals, Liberal voters are disenfranchised and they're a little upset with their leader or their party, they're lefties, right? So instead of voting Liberal, they may vote NDP. The NDP should have picked up a lot of votes on this one. They actually were down 6 points from where they were in the 2021 election. So they lost votes as well. To me, I would look at that as a sign that instead of picking up votes, they lost votes because of their deal with the devil, the confidence and supply agreement that they have with the Liberals right now, currently propping them up. So just huge upset all around. And it's been the talk of politics here in the Ottawa bubble ever since.
I don't know. Are people figuring out that runaway government debt is actually affecting their lives and driving interest rates to go up, driving the price of everything to go up, having to service $57 billion a year to service debt with no new services? That's just money they have to extract from everyone just for interest payments. You can't do it forever. Could it be, Wilson, that people are starting to figure this out? Could it be?
Yes. In fact, there are 4 other important by-elections coming up, maybe over the summer and the fall. You've got LaSalle, Émard, Verdun, which is a suburb in Montreal. Cloverdale, Langley City is coming up, Elmwood, Transcona, and Halifax. So these were all ridings where the Liberals did really well, and they're polling to lose all of them. Not necessarily all to the Conservatives, but they will lose all those ridings as well. So instead of calling an early election, maybe this is how we're going to do it, just by-election by by-election, whatever it takes, man.
Now, there's an updated federal model as far as what some of the pollsters think the federal election, how that would turn out. Do you have that with you?
Yeah, so it's showing the Liberals with 222 seats, which of course would be a huge Conservative majority. What's really interesting about that is we are 56 consecutive weeks and holding with a Conservative majority. And why that's different is people say, well, under Andrew Scheer or under Aaron O'Toole, we also had polls that showed the Conservatives winning. But it was nothing like this, nothing with these numbers, and of course, nothing with that type of consistency. So 56 straight weeks, over a year of Conservative majority polling. So I don't know, it's not a trend, it's status quo like that, it's static. I saw an interview with David 𝐿𝐞𝐫𝐜𝐿, and he said that if this continues, we may see the Conservatives end up with 240 seats, which is just mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, the Liberals considered their minority government a mandate to do whatever it is that they wanted to do. With 211 seats, much less 220 seats, that is an extremely clear mandate. So let's not have all of these people that are concerned about our democracy start shedding tears when the government says, hey, you know what? These people broke it and it's going to be painful to fix it. And they start fixing things. It's a very clear mandate.
You always run that risk of when you're cheering on your side to do all of these things, even though they don't really have the mandate to do it, they're being propped up by the NDP in order to get things done, and people are cheering it on, right? Always remember that when that pendulum swings the other way, you might be the one who gets it.
And reasonable people, that's why reasonable people say, hey, the government shouldn't be involved in all of these things, right? Like no government, whether it's a centrist government, a leftist government, or a right-wing government. It's like there's a lot of things that the government shouldn't be involved in. It's like you're cheering for, those who live by the sword die by the sword. You're cheering for the government to use the sword. It's like, well, somebody else might pick that sword up too. How about we not use the sword, at all? And then you don't have to worry about that.
We're past that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't have to trade your children's future for a $400 carbon rebate check. Hey, think with your thinker. That's what it's for.
Remember, if you don't stand up for your own ability to own and use firearms, who will? Join the CCFR or donate right now at www.firearmrights.ca.